If you would have said
That too.
which of the big ticket guys are the Cardinals getting, everyone would have held up a sign, Sonny Gray, because we all figured that seemed like, right, that would be the landing spot for him. I will say he seemed unique. I look forward to having him like on the pregame show because he had to stop himself a couple times because he says he rambles. One thing I liked about him, too, outside of his stats, which are pretty solid, runner-up for a Cy Young in the American League, was that he walked up to the podium, the dais, and he's carrying a baseball. Someone asked him, and then I followed up later, what's with the baseball? He goes, I love pitching, so I always want to have a baseball in my hand. So he always walks around with a baseball. That's pretty unique. It's quirky, yes, but that's cool. And I really am thankful that I'll have him and Lance Lynn to talk to for the pregame show. What are you making a face for?
Oh, nothing. It's funny that he's carrying a ball everywhere. I mean, it is what it is. No big deal.
Working on the grip.
Working on the grip, He's putting on a show for people. He doesn't carry a ball everywhere.
No, he does.
Even when he's driving?
In the bathroom?
In a bathroom? I mean, come on.
I didn't ask him to define everywhere.
When
but
he's making
said
love?
He's always got a baseball in his pocket.
You gonna let go of that, Cam? No.
What, you think he's lying? You think he's lying?
Yes.
You're wrong.
Yes.
Grocery store.
Grocery store.
Did you watch the
Yes,
thing?
because cameras are on him. He's going to take a ball up there and hold the grip and be like, I love baseball. We know.
Did
We know.
you watch? Honestly,
Yes, I watched
and
it.
you think this is a guy who thinks that way?
Yes. Yeah. There's no one in Major League history that carries a baseball around like a child everywhere he goes. No way in hell. There's no way in hell. That was cute.
I'll bet you're wrong. I bet you right now you're wrong that he does because he seems quirky enough where that's true. Trust me, I'd be able to, I think, decipher when someone's putting on the show. We've seen plenty of it over the year. I don't know this guy, but this guy seems a little different.
That's fine.
That's why I believe it.
If he's driving his car and he's driving it with that baseball, I'm going to owe you some coin. I'll take you to a Brazilian steakhouse, dude.
I can
And
see
Tyler.
that, though. He probably has the ball in the console, and he's messing with grips. But I don't think if he goes to a wedding, I don't think he brings it into the wedding.
Okay, so
Hey, honey, put this in your purse.
He's got fuzzy baseballs instead of fuzzy dice on his little
that's
windshield.
Okay, so when he's putting lacquer on the new table, he doesn't have a ball in his hand. Does he walk around with a ball? My guess is yes. But we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We have plenty of time.
Around the house.
And I'll put $10 that I'm right on.
All right, I'll give you $10 on that.
All right.
We'll make a bet.
Around the house.
No, even if he's like
Mowing
walking-
the grass.
Yeah, mowing the grass. I mean,
Because I'm sure he does that as a
even if he
$75
walks
million
into the
pitcher.
Let me
take
ask
a picture of him. If he walks into the clubhouse
St. Louis
with a
lawn care,
ball,
by the way.
I owe you $10.
No, there you go.
My thing is this.
Check.
Like, if all I want this fan base to like me. I know I'll say I walk around with a ball. No, it doesn't make sense. I think he's a quirky guy.
Hold on, though. To be fair, and by the way, this is not planned whatsoever, but now I'm thinking more and more. I've seen this man on many postseason press conferences. Actually, yesterday I was trying to find thumbnail pictures, and I watched a bunch of his post games from the Twins. I never once saw a baseball at the podium. I didn't even think of this until
He's
you
not going
said
to
it.
use it there. Where hold it there then.
He did multiple post-game press conferences, and before the start, I never saw a baseball at the podium.
Do you think the Cardinals told him to do that because the fans would like it?
No.
Yes. They like forced
Mo
him.
did.
No,
Yes,
no,
Mo
no,
did.
no, no.
Hey, we're not getting Yamamoto.
No.
So here, walk around with a baseball. That'll
I think
that'll
he's
distract them.
excited. He goes up there. He's like,
That's
"Can I
like
carry there?"
but that's a cold tweet.
That could be a tweet.
Cheap
No,
chokers.
no, it's
and
not.
that'll blow up like
cheap chokers.
What's happening to Corey Perry and Connor Bedard? We'll get into that
By
later.
the way,
Hey,
My God. Why did Sonny Gray pick out the number 54, Charlie?
why did he pick out the number 54? Is there an answer to that?
Yeah.
he wore that in Cincinnati.
Why?
Why did he choose
Hard.
number 54?
It's going to be tough.
Oh, I thought a text line member. Oh, this is you asking this
Yeah,
question.
yeah. I just read it in the paper.
Okay.
Why did he choose 54?
5 plus 4 is
Blue.
9, and there are
Well, keep-
9
keep
innings
do-
in a
well,
baseball
keep doing
game,
that,
and he
and
carries
maybe
9 baseballs around in his
There's
cargo
a Hall
pants.
of Famer that he kind of took the number from, but it's not the number. He switched it around a little bit.
So 45. Is 45 Gibson?
Dang right. You're dang right.
And that's why he chose it with the Cardinals?
Yep.
How about that?
I don't even think he chose it with the. I think he did this.
Pre?
Because of Gibson. Little fun fact.
I like that.
Cute little fun
He
fact.
also,
Yeah.
I mean, he talked about his edge, and which the way he talked about it was sort of the Bob Gibson playbook. He said, "You'll never see me smiling at a batter." it's me against him, which I like. I don't think he's quite as intimidating as Bob Gibson.
Just because he's short.
They had to actually lower the mound for Bob Gibson.
How big was Bob Gibson?
Boy, 6'2", 6'3".
Just was he jacked up,
Yeah.
big boy, thick? Yeah. Yep. You got any audio? Anyone to hear from him at all? Anything? Did he say anything else?
yeah,
Jimmy, you were there.
I got a couple things, but
Sally was there.
a lot of these audio clips
I
are
was there.
long. So here we'll do this
Hear
one. This
from
one-
him.
This one's only a minute. We could play this one. Sonny Gray talking about joining the Cardinals.
I believe I did see it, but I believe in the front office. I believe in the organization. I believe in the culture. I believe in the fans. I believe in the city. I believe in the traditions that have been created here. If you look at it, I don't think the Cardinals have had a losing season since 2007.
Correct.
Since 2007. So it's not a place that accepts losing. Losing is not an option. It's not a place that you just say, oh, the Cardinals are, they're going to go through this thing. It just doesn't happen here. So I believe in that. I believe in traditions. I believe in longevity. I believe you're going to not have a losing season since 2007. You got a strong culture. You got an incredibly strong foundation. You've got good people. I believe the winning culture is still here. It just didn't happen last year, but I believe it's still here, and it's been here for a long time.
He said he believes in the city. Very nice of him that he didn't see that Chris Negus tweet.
Oh, he wasn't looking that day.
Why did Mo sign this guy? Because he said, I believe in the front office. That's the only reason that
Yeah.
Mo signed him.
Wasn't there a story about going to the Arch?
Yeah, he was at the Arch with his family.
At nighttime?
He didn't say what.
Did his
what time
uniform
of
get
day.
stolen like that women's basketball team?
Or the dude, the blues prospect that came from like Sweden. He's like, this is fun.
Listen, this is a
give me everything you got.
this is a good fit because he wanted to be here. His family likes the city. He likes the team, and Mo has always liked. They were thinking about drafting him back in the day. There were trade proposals on the table that they always made, that they almost made for him.
I checked that draft. He was picked, I believe it's 4 picks before. Who do you think it was?
Ooh.
Pretty good player for the Cardinals.
Wait, he was before.
I believe Sonny Gray was about the 18th pick. Was it the
Okay.
2011 draft? Because I heard that clip as well. And I'm like, well, I wonder who the Cardinals drafted.
Okay, so it's not Carr, but somebody else.
About 4 picks later. So let's say Sonny Gray was 18th. So the Cardinals drafted about 22nd that year.
So we're talking about somebody who was
Still with the team?
good in 14.
He's not. I believe he's still in the bigs.
It's not
Getting up to
A guy that
Paul DeYoung.
Jim the Cat Hayes just loved.
Oh,
That doesn't narrow it down.
What, the pitcher?
Nope.
So everybody but Tino Martinez.
So, yeah, Sonny Gray was 18th in the 2011 draft. Let me just triple check. I did look at this last night. The Cardinals drafted 22nd.
Holy hell, Cole! Come on,
Cole.
I
This
know.
is up your alley, dude.
15. So somebody who would have been good in like 14, 15, 16, 17 range. Mm-hmm. And it is just
Good trivia.
not.
That is a
Cat?
good.
I'm trying to give away a hint that wouldn't totally give it away.
Aledmus Diaz.
No.
I liked him. He gave my kid his batting gloves.
That's all it takes.
He was an
That's all it
all-star for a
takes.
year. And then Paul DeYoung booted him out of here. It's not Paul DeYoung. He was a third-round pick, I think.
Really good player. Had a really good 5 years about.
Carlos Martinez?
No. He's Dominicano.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have been drafted anyway. Bad guess.
Why am I blanking?
Ba-da-da-da-da.
It's always.
I'm trying to think of a way to give you a hint, but all the hints are obvious.
Well, you might as well.
Just say it.
It's better than the dead air we're about to give you.
Middle infielder.
Kolten Wong?
Kolten Wong, baby.
Oh, the Wong Dong.
So that's a pretty good pick.
I like him.
Pirates killer.
You know,
Wong Dong.
Kolten Wong would carry his baseball glove everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah. Yep.
Kolten
Good
Wong
trivia.
was pretty. What
I liked
happened?
him.
What happened?
Hell of an athlete.
Well, traded to the Mariners, correct?
Yeah, and then he was it the Brewers?
Yeah.
It was
Brew Crew.
Brewers.
No, but I mean, he was traded like last offseason
Yeah, and then he was
to the Mariners.
and then he was cut loose. And I honestly think he loved being a Cardinal so much that when he was
Because he believes in the city.
It broke him.
I think it broke him. I'm not kidding you. Like, I've never seen a player that distraught about being sent away.
Yeah.
I mean,
liked
tears.
him, man.
I mean, like, literally tears.
Yeah. It's emotional.
Kolten Wong finished 20th in the MVP in 2019.
I mean, how devastated were you when you got traded away back
MVP.
to Jersey?
I didn't get traded back to
Gold
Jersey.
glove, second base.
Signed back.
2 Gold Gloves.
Oh.
3rd in the Rookie of the Year.
Oops.
And 20th in the MVP.
Pretty dang good.
And the problem was I always said Kolten Wong has a little pop. Not little, but little pop.
LIL.
And so he'd hit a couple homers, and then he'd kind of morph into a home run hitter and then take an 0 for 20.
Yeah.
And then he'd have to stop raising that foot with the big leg.
He makes some nice double plays, though.
Get on base, son.
And it stinks when your memory is something negative, and I love Kolten Wong.
Oh, I
He's
know what
such
you're
a nice guy.
I know
Getting
you're
picked
saying.
off.
I know what you're saying.
But not just the pickoff, and not just the fact that Carlos Beltran was at the plate and was a freaking monster that year, and it was in the World Series, but then just crying in the post game,
Oh, yeah.
right in front of me,
And then also
heartbreaking.
And then, like, for the next 2 years, Kolten, how's it going today? Well, I got picked off. Like, he would bring it up.
Oh, really?
Well, hold on.
On his own.
Yeah.
Like, every time you talk to him.
That was the inside joke for about 3 years at Fox 2. Any national game, and you know how they do at national games, they have to bring up any story. From 14, 15, 16, it was the redemption story. If Kolten Wong got a single on Sunday Night Baseball, Kolten Wong gets the single, of course, overcoming getting picked off 3 years ago in the World Series.
But he would.
I want to see that play.
He
again.
would bring it up on his own. Like, all right, 3 for 4. Kolten Wong, double, 2 singles, 3 RBIs. Big night for you. Yeah, I got picked off. I still think about that.
So what happened exactly with that play? Was it?
Can I say one more thing
Yeah,
real quick?
absolutely.
Terrible moment. And look, I just didn't know. At a winter warm-up, you haven't seen the guys for a while. You do your little one-on-ones off the side. And, you're looking for some questions and something fun and this and that. And I think I maybe asked him something like, hey, off-season, best thing that happened, worst thing that happened. And I believe his mother passed.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
But he said that for
Charlie.
the worst thing that happened?
Well,
happens, dude.
he said he's the nicest guy on earth. I didn't know.
He really is a nice man.
He's literally
Yeah.
the nicest human being you'll ever
Yep.
meet.
I met him, man. He was
But
cool.
I also, Mother's Day, too, like the Fox affiliate, all the affiliates go around the clubhouse to get, like, Mother's Day sound. And I've seen it twice where people in the aftermath went up to him about Mother's Day. And he was nice, but you could see didn't really land well.
It's happened to me, man. You're just like, yeah. Hey, I was, well, my mom died. But other than that,
Very early
what
on,
it is.
I was going to Bush to do that, and Wayno was there. And I'm just, you're getting, love you, Mom, love you, Dad. It was Father's Day. And I didn't know Wayno's story. So I'm just, I love my dad. Went to the games with me. And I'm stopping Wayno as he's walking out to the bullpen. And he gives me this amazing story about his dad left the family and his mom did everything and his brother. And, you're just thinking you're going to get, I love my dad. And it was like this most amazing story of his childhood.
Really? Yeah, man.
His dad scooted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he bailed at a young age?
Yeah.
Really? Damn, dude.
There's a song about it that he sings.
Hey, well, that's the kind of. Are you being chirpy?
I'm being chirpy with you because you're not giving him a chance.
Because he's not a good
Is
singer.
there a song though? Because that
You're
sounds
gonna
like a
tie
song.
it down?
No, that is. He wrote about that. That's one of his songs.
Is it one of the ones he sang?
Yeah, I know
About going to movies?
I didn't see the whole concert, but I know that's one of his songs.
One of the 3?
I don't know if it.
No, I'm
that's
just asking. Because I was listening. I'm curious.
He's written a bunch of songs. That's one of them. I don't know which ones he sang because I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it was good.
Did he have a baseball?
That's funny, man. That's a crazy story. I didn't know that.
By the way,
It's about his daddy.
this is going to be a thing now because I'm going to make sure every time I see Sonny Gray walking in and out of
$10
Busch Stadium,
baby.
walking out of his car, I want to see if he has that nice little baseball.
Baseball. He takes everywhere.
In the shower, Sonny?
Yeah, when he said he takes it everywhere, I'm not sure he meant in the shower. If he goes to a funeral,
Other press conferences?
he's we'll see.
I watched
So where's
two. I
everywhere?
watched 2 of them.
Where's everywhere?
From the Twins. I didn't see a ball. I love you, Sonny.
Yeah, man.
If he's walking around with a baseball in his pocket, as he leaves the stadium or something. To me, that's every. I take him at his word for now. I'll find out. It doesn't make sense that I'll say I have a baseball that will make the fans love me. There's other ways to do it. Like you could say, like, hey, I saw one of your soccer games for almost a half. That would be the kind of thing that would ingratiate him to the masses in St. Louis.
Well, yeah, I mean, we still got $10 on it.
I'll find out. I'll be honest.
I know. That's funny. No, people do that, man. Like, just going to bring a baseball in there. Just mess with it. Just to get the fans going a little bit. I could see that.
And he says he knows Lance, but he doesn't know Kyle. But he said Lance should be fun to have a season together here in St. Louis. I don't know. And Mo, also, I asked him the question that Charlie posed to the dais, and I said, is the rotation, because he said on the dais, he said, we're a lot better than we were 2 months ago. I said, is this rotation better than your rotation was going into last season? Because that was the question. And he basically said he thinks it is, but we have to see how it all shakes out.
That's fair. I mean, on paper, clearly Waino, we love you, Waino, but he was atrocious during the season. So let's just say,
Except for his singing.
Can Sonny Gray be Monty? Then all that has to happen is Kyle Gibson or Lance Lynn have to be better than Waino, and then the other guy has to be better than Flaherty.
Yeah.
So
that could happen.
And Michaelis has to be.
Michaelis.
I mean, he has to be better. He's going
to be better.
He was an 18-game winner, and granted, that was a few years ago. I understand you don't generally get better as you get older, but I mean, that was really rough last year.
I agree with you.
I think he can be better.
I think he's going to be better.
And by the way, as we throw this out there, and no one really knows, but you go, oh, is that guy a 1? Is that guy a 2? And some of it has to do also with just how you feel. For example, to me, Aaron Nola feels more like a 1, even though Sonny Gray, his ERA was what? I mean, almost 2 runs lower than Aaron Nola. But you're just thinking strikeouts. You're thinking, I'm starting a guy in the playoffs. How do I feel going into that? And I'm talking about this yesterday. I'm thinking, is he a 1? Is he a 2? He finished second in the Cy Young, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like, okay, Sonny Gray's a 2. It doesn't really matter, but as I'm thinking this through, I go, the dude finished second in the Cy Young Award. And if you go back literally 5 years, I'm talking about 5 years. So that includes COVID, but 5 almost full seasons. He's up there in the top 10 in most categories.
So do you think,
of all pitchers,
if you going into the playoffs, Nola had a rough regular season. You go, who's a better 1 before the playoffs? You might have said Sonny Gray.
Yeah, and the other part
Nola was so good in the postseason, I think it kind of rewrote the end of the story.
Right, and he has been. Remember, he was really good last season against the Cardinals, and him and Wheeler just marched to the World Series. But again, as you kind of dive into the numbers, I think sometimes we all have recency bias, and this happens with Lance Lynn because he got lit up in his postseason appearance. I mean, remember, he was great for the Cardinals for a long time. I mean, he started out of the bullpen. I'm talking playoffs here. But I was looking Sonny Gray up. He didn't have a great start by any means, but his career playoff ERA over 30 innings, I believe it's 3.26. So he's not this guy that chokes in the postseason at all.
Not a cheap choker?
No. But again, I think people see the start and they think about the start that just happened. Same with Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn's been in the postseason, almost his whole career.
Wombat chimes in. Where'd you get this report from, by the way, Wombat? The Cardinals have told teams that left-handed pitcher Steven Matz will be available via trade. Could clear a spot for right-handed pitcher Yoshimo Yamamoto, who St. Louis is said to have a real interest in. Where'd you get that report from, Wombat?
It was some guy who
MLB nerds.
Yeah, it was an MLB writer who I don't know.
You don't know?
But yes, I asked Mo. I said, "Are you done with renovating the rotation?" He said, "You never say never." Plus, even if you were trying to work another deal, you're not going to telegraph it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't put stock in everything that someone in the front office tells you. But I know that they were shopping Matz, not to get rid of him, but just to see what's out there. That makes sense. And then even a possibility, if an opportunity presents itself to bring in a starter that you think is better than one of the guys you have, and you put Matz in the pen where he has looked good before, you certainly explore that.
Yeah.
But I think the chances are this is probably your rotation. They don't have a lot of depth either. And I asked Mo about it. I said, you got a bunch of, guys further along in their career in that rotation. Do you have enough depth? And he said that's something we have to look at. And he said, and there's going to be younger pitchers that we're going to depend on to give us depth. And someone like a Zach.
What about a spicy trade where you get a Alek Manoah type?
Or a Cease.
And you send back, well, I think the White Sox won't try to win, though. They'll want to do a total rebuild. But a Blue Jays type team, think about a Rays type team. They don't want a total rebuild. There are teams that probably would take a Matz on a 2-year deal for $11 per year, maybe trade away a younger guy. Again, you got Carlson, you got O'Neill. I do think that's a possibility. Like if I was John Mozeliak, that's what I would at least be shopping,
Absolutely.
seeing if anything's out there. Because I do think there is a way to improve the rotation just by upgrading from a Steven Matz.
I agree with that. And he's a piece. And then they have other pieces that they want to deal. Like they're not going to say, hey, we want to deal Tyler O'Neill or Dylan Carlson, because they have a backlog in certain positions. And you have other pieces of value, a Tommy or a Donovan, who are sort of the same kind of piece, where you would think if you trade to a team that still wants to have a starter but doesn't mind giving you their better starter for a guy who can replace him and other pieces that they really need, that's how you think a deal could happen.
Maybe this is controversial.
Hey, well, you're a controversial host.
I think they should trade Dylan Carlson. I'm oddly more ready to move on from him than Tyler O'Neill for this very reason. Tyler O'Neill has one season left, and he's the type of guy that can have an amazing year once every about 4 or 5 years, and the value is so low. I guess my question is, I still don't think you give Tyler O'Neill away for some non-major league player. And the only reason I say that is, look, I'm not counting on this. I understand if you're driving your car right now, you want to drive it into a telephone pole.
Don't do it.
By hearing this. But to me, there's more value that this could be that year that Tyler O'Neill actually stays healthy and is good again than trading him for a AAA reliever.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But the question is, at what cost in terms of giving someone else that spot? Riding the same guy who's been hurt. Like, I like Tyler O'Neill. I was wrong about him. I still think he's going to, if he gets traded, he's going to have a good season somewhere else at some point.
Once every 4 years.
I mean, he's injury prone, so you're rolling the dice. I think he's a different kind of talent because he can do a lot of different things, but he can't stay on the field. So I agree with that. There's probably, you got to get something that you're going to actually use, is your point. Something that can actually help the team as opposed to just dealing him for someone that's going to end up languishing in AAA.
And in saying this, by the way, I can't remember, just so you know, I can't remember where I heard or read this, but it was one of the Cardinals beat writers who was discussing Dylan Carlson. And if you think about this, it's true. It was the discussion of this man has been in the big leagues for about what? Was COVID his first year? So whatever it is, four seasons. He hasn't really matured physically. We haven't seen this man, the way he looked as a rookie, he kind of still looks that way. And Matt Holliday brought this up yesterday. That power hasn't developed, right? We thought, okay, probably if you're going to be an outfielder, and if you're not a Gold Glove center fielder, you better hit 25 home runs. And Dylan Carlson is not there.
Where's his stock at right now? Who's got a higher stock value, him or O'Neill?
Well, Carlson has how many years of control? Probably 3. I got to look that up. O'Neill has 1.
Talent-wise, O'Neill has
Yeah.
put better numbers on the table. Both have had injuries, more than their share of injuries. And I do think we haven't seen Dylan reach anywhere close to what the ceiling can be. So I think there's some value and control going along with that.
3.
But if I just had to pick a guy, okay, he's my guy for this season, I would take Tyler O'Neill, and I wouldn't even think about it. I mean, Tyler O'Neill won a Gold Glove. I think a lot of that had to do with Bader in center, and Tyler O'Neill even admitted that. But speed, power, can he stay on the field is the question.
Yeah. We shall see. A lot going on, Cole.
Whole lot going on.
Every time you leave, man, a lot goes on.
I know. Oh, my goodness. I tuned in. I listened to the first segment yesterday. I listened to the Matt Holliday interview. I enjoyed the Sonny Gray conversation yesterday for sure.
Get them in, by the way. Audio Exchange and Kirkwood text line 855-282-8255. Well, Charlie, you got your hand raised.
Oh, I just wanted to say, so in a bad year, we'd all agree that both Carlson and O'Neill had bad down seasons. In a down season, Tyler O'Neill's OPS plus was 94, which is pretty close to league average. Carlson's was 79. So even in their down years, and I understand if you hear me saying this, you just want to move on from Tyler O'Neill. I get it. And if you got something of value in return, I'm all for it. I'm just saying if that's another team's 13th best prospect, I would rather roll the dice on Tyler O'Neill being healthy in 2024.
And where do you play him? Are you talking about for the Cardinals or just in general?
Well, who is your starting left fielder right now?
Don't really know.
That's my point.
Don't know.
I feel better about Tyler O'Neill than Dylan Carlson. Now, that's not necessarily a high bar, but I would rather, if they're both on the team, I would rather roll out Tyler O'Neill on opening day and say, just try to stay healthy and run hard.
I don't disagree with it, but there's also something to be
run
said.
Run kind of hard.
Kind of hard.
Run 95%.
Yeah.
You put Newton left, Walker in right, and you have Tommy in center, which is also a possibility too. And you have Gorman at second base. I mean, I think that could work too. Tommy Edman, I think, has value. First of all, he's a guy who hasn't played center field and was plugged in, and maybe their best defensive center fielder. Doesn't have the arm that Newt has, but his jumps are really good. I have no problem with him in center field. That's not the way it's going to shake out, but that's one of the scenarios.
And now it's fascinating because before the season, I thought either Edman, I'm saying before this next season starts, I figured probably Edman or Donovan would be gone. And now you wonder if they're not going to get a big pitcher in a trade, which they still could. But I think part of this equation was who are they going to trade away? And you thought, okay, maybe it's a package of a Carlson, Burleson, maybe a couple outfielders go. Maybe it's Edman or Donovan. And it's hard to make that who's going to play left field statement until you see if there's any trades.
Right. And that's where the Mats piece, I think, is intriguing because you're not going to get a decent young pitcher with control unless you give up a lot. So that's why I was thinking you give him another starter, a bona fide starter, who's had injury problems, but you can sell that you've replaced an arm with an arm, and you got a Donovan and a Tyler O'Neill. Like, to me, that makes it more of a package. You know, it could be a new bar, and I'm not saying I heard any of this. I'm just giving you a scenario. But if you include Mats with legitimate pieces, maybe there is a team that's willing to give you a younger guy with more control for your rotation.
And so here's an interesting name, and I'm not sure it's going to be with the Cardinals because it's a lot of money. But Tyler Glasnow, who's injury-prone also.
Crazy injury-prone.
But he's a stud when he's healthy. And he's going to make $25 million. And that's with the Rays, a team that doesn't like to pay guys. So this is just a hypothetical, but you could see how the Rays, who want to stay competitive, would potentially take a Mats for, $14 million less per year, still stay competitive with a guy like Mats, and then get some prospects or other players in return. You could see how that deal would make sense for a Cardinals or another team. And again, because the Rays aren't like the White Sox, who I think the White Sox will just blow it up. I think the White Sox will blow up their entire team.
What does Mats get per year?
11-ish.
So that's a pretty team-friendly deal. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's been good since he's been injury-prone. So a deal like that, you're trading a cheaper injury-prone pitcher for a more expensive injury-prone pitcher. And the Cardinals would probably have to give up another piece too.
For sure.
But that's another guy whose name has been involved in trade rumors that have been out there on the internet.
Is it cheap choker for an expensive choker?
It's I like to say injury-prone. Injury-prone for injury-prone, much different price tags. you're probably going to have to kick in someone else too. But here's the thing, though. I have noticed this. Like a guy like Manoah, right, who didn't have a good year, right? So another team's guy who had a bad last year seems better than our guy who had a bad, like Glasnow his stuff is phenomenal, right? He's had success, but he's had a laundry list of injuries. Their injury-prone guy seems better than our injury. You know what I mean? Like their injury-prone guy, because you haven't lived through it, is probably less likely to be injured once he comes here.
But he is younger.
He is younger.
With more upside.
There's no
He's
question.
had a much better season 2 years ago.
His stuff is elite. His stuff is elite. His ability to stay on the field is not.
And by the way, Matt's, so the deal was 44 over 4, but he made 8.5, 10.5. So the next 2 years, he makes 12.5 each year.
Still not a huge price tag.
Right.
And for a team that's going to give you a pitcher, you get a pitcher at a fairly low cost with a resume. That's where I think another starter could come from.
I like it, Charlie. I like that trade proposal, man. Get him in, by the way, 855-282-8255, Audience Exchange and Kirkwood text line, blowing up. Ask Cole if he met any lady friends. Cream of some young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that's
new
coming.
ones?
You know, I'm just, you know what he means.
Yeah, I met with some.
Good for you.
Repeat offenders?
One of them was.
All right. That's all. That's all he's
what
asking.
hey, that's what this weekend is about.
That's all he's
we
asking,
didn't do
baby.
anything.
Okay.
Oh.
We met in a group setting.
What'd you do? Have a conversation?
Coffee?
It was kind of an awkward conversation
What about Steelers or something?
Why was it awkward?
because other people were there.
What were you trying to talk
Why
about?
couldn't you sneak away to a
Bathroom.
closet?
To the bathroom.
7 Minutes in Heaven closet.
Yeah,
There
back
you
in the
go.
day, Charlie.
Yeah.
Back in the day, baby. Oh, snap. My official count, Cole does more drops, so tell the Cole haters to pound sand. Latterus.
Yo.
In a small town. Welcome back, Cole. Ignore the haters that already have their text teed up to chirp. Also, nice Cedar Point reference in the first minute. America's roller coaster. Happy Tuesday, boys. Sharon.
Listen to me because you'll learn.
There's
You know
another
who
drop.
loves Cedar Point? Plowsy.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
He lives for roller coasters.
He goes to Six Flags all the time.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like
No,
he
he's got the
loves
pass.
roller coasters.
No,
100%.
He does.
there's Plowsy, who is like, I don't know what you call a double diamond member at Six Flags. Like, no, seriously.
Yeah.
He's got like the free drink cup.
The
that you
souvenir
can-
cup?
Yeah,
Free
that you
turkey
can walk
leg.
around.
So funny.
Man,
He gets the
my hero.
Halloween pass where you buy an extra pass with it so people don't scare you. So you have this little thing on your thing so the jump scares don't happen. Pretty funny, man. We love him. Big Mike chimes in. Yesterday was the best run show in many months. Audio was ready to go immediately. He chimed in at the perfect moments with great insight and put the podcast up in minutes after the segment was over. Just makes you miss what once was. Big Mike. You know he's going to throw bombs.
Hey,
You know he's going to throw bombs.
if I can meander my way to Dallas on a Monday and Tuesday in the middle of December, he can get what he wants again.
All right, we'll set that up. Can we please not waste half the show on Cardinals talk, but rather spend more time addressing the story that Corey Perry is banging Connor Bedard's mom? We need clarification on this now, Sharon. Girl, it ain't happening. You know, it's funny to think about, but this is not. I would bet any amount of money that didn't happen.
Like we said, though,
It's just
if
ridiculous.
the whole world thinks it's already happening, you might as
you
well
might as
just
well
do
just
it.
go do it. Just go bang her out now. Cares. Oh man, oh man. Let's
Does she
see.
really not like Cardinal talk?
No, she does.
Nah, she's just
She's just chirping.
making a joke
When
out
the
of it.
Cardinals having the oldest rotation in the majors, they should ask to play all the day games. That way they can have the early bird special for dinner. They can also show episodes of Matlock and The Price is Right in the clubhouse. Mailman Anthony. Little chirpy poo. Little chirpy poo. Where's Nate? I thought he was taking over. How disappointing. You know Wombat's going to chirp.
Yeah.
He's cool, though, man. He should have came the other day.
Hey, did you see a big sports story that happened? And I know that we're about to go to break. We do not have to dedicate an entire segment to this. But you see who just
Is this
lost?
about showering?
No.
Yeah, really.
You see who just...
I don't want to get chirped by
Yeah.
that. I know.
By the
That was
hardcore,
that
knowledgeable.
was 30 seconds.
Knowledgeable.
It's about
sports
sports.
That was 30 seconds.
It's about
Jimmy.
sports, and it can be 30 seconds too. Did you see who just lost his 2024 recruit at quarterback and 2025 recruit at quarterback?
Neon Dion.
Yeah. Weird. He lost 3 recruits in a span of 24 hours.
3 or 2?
Did you call that back in the day?
But 2 of them are quarterbacks, but 3 in total.
And he lost another one to Mizzou, didn't he?
No, he's going to do great. Yeah, he did, actually. But that kid is from Missouri.
Yeah, okay, so he wants that coin up front.
Helps a little bit. Probably that has to do with it, too. But just a little interesting. You know,
he better
4-8.
He better recruit some offensive linemen.
Yes.
I mean,
getting chased around.
No offense. He got some skilled players, but they didn't have great line play.
Shador was scrambling.
No, he specifically cited that in a post-game press conference. He said, I need to get some linemen for Shador. He called him out by name when he said, which I'm sure made all the other teammates feel good.
It's not that far-fetched, Cam. Dudes get themselves jammed up all the time. Look at Anthony Weiner. Got caught twice. And Elliot Spritzer cleaned up Times Square of the strip clubs and hookers. Then it turns out he's their biggest client. Give me a break. Happens all the time. Some men just can't help themselves. Sharon, girl.
An Elliot Spitzer
You're
reference.
going to Anthony Weiner and Elliot, come on, to Corey Perry. Like, it just, look, some dudes do some crazy things. I just don't believe this at all.
Listen,
I don't.
all I know is I like a
it.
nice scandal, and I don't care who it takes down. If they did it, you pay the price. But they just busted a call girl ring, a human trafficking ring in D.C. Supposedly, the clientele included some power brokers.
Oh, really?
In politics in D.C. I want the name.
I want it.
I want to know.
Shocking.
I want to know. I do.
Shocking that all those politicians that have their those Congress people that live both in their hometown and also have a nice little condo in D.C. probably just kind of head there a couple times a month. Shocking that would happen.
I know.
Well, because they're busy serving the public.
Serving the public.
Yes, they are.
Crazy, man. Let us know.
Why can't we know Epstein's list? Why can't we know? Because here's what concerns me. Like, if you're the real power is probably like the intel agencies, right? CIA and everything. Like, if you have all this compromising materials on the real powerful, you can make things happen. That's just be transparent.
Even with
put
the
it
Epstein,
out there, so
like
we
he
know.
had safes. He wrote down everything. He's had DVDs out the ass in all these safes, and they got it. What's on them? Who's doing what?
Do they have it?
Yeah, they
Because I
got
remember
all that. Yeah.
A big part of that documentary was apparently when they first raided his home in Palm Beach, he knew it was coming.
Yes,
because all of his computer hard drives were gone. But this was like 20 years ago.
I saw who was it? Lex Friedman. Somebody a podcast, and I watched it about Epstein, and they said they have a ton of stuff.
I guarantee
a ton of stuff.
That there are files that still exist.
Whoa!
That someone's in possession.
And he wrote down every single log of everything.
Is Tom Hanks one of the guys who's rumored to be involved in that? Because
he was on the plane.
There was a social media. There was a video on social media of him and Tim Allen back from the first recording of Toy Story, doing the voiceovers and stuff, and they posted that video on social media. All the comments were just about Epstein.
Yeah, dude.
They had nothing to do with like Toy Story or Tom Hanks or Tim Allen or anything.
Was Tim Allen involved in that? Because I like him too. He got caught up in heroin back in the day.
Dude, he was a massive drug dealer.
Yeah,
like
he got in Detroit,
mug shots, and I think went to jail for a couple years. Came back and.
Tool Time was a cool show back in the 90s, though, man. I loved it. God, I love that
Al
show.
Borland?
Yeah.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Al Borland's not on the list, is he?
I hope not. I hope.
Might be.
Who's that actor?
He kind of looks like
Richard Karn?
I don't know.
Did he get a quick little try on Family Feud?
Yes.
And
That's
it
what I was
didn't
gonna
work
say.
out?
No,
I remember that.
No.
But it didn't get like one season
He
of
got
Family
something.
Feud?
He got something. I remember seeing him on there. Cap, the Epstein logs haven't been released because people don't want to get suicided. Vulva. I mean, I don't know.
My thing is,
Protection there.
look,
Suicided?
people are. I don't really understand. Like, if you get caught, if the average citizen gets caught doing something, they go to jail, or you're right.
Yes.
They face the consequences. You have all this information of people who are doing some pretty vile stuff,
Wow.
and we don't
know?
We don't prosecute them. You don't make that public.
Jeez Louise, man.
Like even the recent one in D.C. Like, all right, you busted this ring. You know exactly who was doing what. Aren't we going to prosecute people?
Now they're informants.
Man, oh man. Yeah. It's crazy. Morning, boys. Gray can wear a necklace of baseball Gray can wear a necklace of baseball as long as he slings nasty pitches. Also, can we start a crowd fund to get a mic in the reporter's pool for those Cardinals press conferences? I like to hear the questions. We not want to lose my hearing by cranking up the volume. Shane in Washington.
I agree with that, though. They used to
Wow, that's a good one.
Ooh, I swallowed two.
Good morning, everybody.
Ew.
Didn't they used to have the boom mic that the guy held out?
Bally's has it.
Still?
But this was not a Bally's production.
Well, Cardinals. Let's go, Cardinals.
Yeah, we have a boom mic for ours.
I agree with that.
They said Otani, people in Canada are thinking that Otani's going to go to the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I hear Toronto's a very international city.
Canada's good. Oh, you really think he's going to go to Toronto? Are you kidding?
Is that close enough to the East Coast?
The travel's brutal.
It's brutal.
The travel is brutal.
It's brutal.
Tax?
Customs every time you go anywhere. You go through customs. That's just sets you back. It's just not worth it. And it's expensive up there. Yeah, he'll go to Toronto and get the pot bellies from the keg.
How about the Cubs, though?
Come on.
No.
Isn't that more fun?
No.
I want to see him.
Okay, you're telling me the Cardinals can't beat the Cubs with Otani? It would be awesome if Otani went to the Cubs.
Yeah, he
It'd be
came here
so
all-
much fun to
I agree.
watch him a ton of times a year.
I agree.
Come on.
I want to see him.
The Cubs, by the way, they're coming anyway. They're spending money.
Well, they should.
Right.
They're a major market.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they've done it before, and then all of a sudden they back off, and they're going to be cheap chokers. I don't really get it. They have a ton of money. People go to Wrigley, win, lose, or draw because it's an event. It is fun there. But I don't want to see them get Otani or Yamamoto.
What about both?
They could. Oh,
They could?
That would hurt me. They could.
They just spent $8 million a year on a manager.
Yeah, dude, that's
they're
a
about
start.
to. They're about to just
That's
spend.
the start, baby. Yeah, dude. They're going to be a powerhouse.
That would be fun. I'm sorry. It would be fun if Otani played for the Cubs. It would.
I want to see him.
Yeah.
I want to see the kid.
Why? Why not? You don't even like the Cardinals, so why is it?
I hate the Cubs
Why?
But you wouldn't think it's fun?
because of the
could you-
2015 wild card game.
How could you hate the Cardinals and the Cubs?
Because I'm a Pirates fan and they're division rivals.
No one's a rival with the Pirates. They barely exist.
In my heart, they
They're a
are.
rival with themselves.
You're a convenience store.
Their owner.
When the teams in the Central that aren't really as good as the other divisions, okay? You go to Pittsburgh.
The entire division.
You grab 2 wins and a burrito. You pop it in the microwave. You get out of town.
Not when you guys went to Pittsburgh this year. That was a clean sweep. David Bednar closed the door all 3 games.
I
Not
hope
that.
I hope you can enjoy that because that's going to have to sustain you.
By the way, are the Pirates, because the Reds are actually coming too, and they're young and talented.
Yeah.
The Pirates, they're not going to spend. We know. I mean, are they going to take a step?
I thought so, and then Johan Oviedo's about to get Tommy John, and he was. I mean, the games that he was good, he was really good last year. He was kind of hit or miss. I said he was either Nolan Ryan or a position player pitching, and you knew by the 3rd inning which one he was, because if he was solid by the 3rd inning, he was going to give you 7. Or if he gave you 2 earned runs within the first 3 innings, it was only going to get worse from there.
Okay, but if Oviedo's make or break, it's probably not a great signpost as to where the team is. Fair?
Well, I mean, we're not going to be a playoff team.
And they have some good young players,
Yeah.
but they're not going to add around it, which is what you have to do because they're the Pirates, which is a shame.
I
'Cause
know.
I'm only chirping you, but I actually think that ballpark is one of
awesome.
the best in
Yeah.
baseball.
Until you look down and watch what's happening on the field. And then
I
you're like,
love I love the city of Pittsburgh. Like it's a nice city. I
is.
like going there, so it's hard to chirp. They're just not good, and they don't strive to be good.
I know.
The Cardinals were awful last year, so as a Pirate fan, enjoy that. But see,
I did.
see how it sat with the fan base.
But what's their-
not well? I have a feeling they're going to be better this year.
Their
Better
payroll,
than,
though, like their owner's cheap. That just sucks,
Bob
man.
Nutty. Don't buy his
Like,
newspapers.
People bitch here about the DeWitts, and you're like, God, some of these other teams, their owners are so damn cheap. Why do you own a team?